हरे कृष्ण। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Hare Krishna. So we'll continue our discussion on Srila Prabhupada's purports. This is a very interesting purports. Prabhupada has put so much of his energy and we have given so much conclusions of all the Acharya's commentaries in this purports. And along with it, something very practical which are helpful for us in our day-to-day life. Because commentaries are 900 years ago, and Prabhupada gave, which is very relevant and for nowadays. So here, when Uddhava asked, sorry, Vidra asked Uddhava about what happened to the Dwarka people and then what happened to Pandava. So then he starts with this verse that the son of Krishna has said, Krishne Bhumni Niloche Grishneshu Ajagaraina. This is how he starts. That the Son of the world, Lord Krishna has said, and our health has now been swallowed by great snake of time. So this is how the the conversation starts. And this is very nice way of putting. We will see some of the purports, very interesting purports. This is of course this about Mausalli land. We'll hear from Vishnu Chakravarti, but what Prabhupada gave here is very nice. Vedus were all experienced devotees, learned and expert in psychic study. Over and above this, they were always with the Lord in all kinds of relaxation, and still they were able to know Him only as the one supreme who dwells everywhere. And now this is a very important book. No? We decided to discuss on this 10th Vala. Under no circumstances can the words of person bewildered by illusory energy of Lord deviate the intelligence of those who are completely surrendered souls. This is trying to understand this purport, what Prabhupada is telling. Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. According to all the evidence of the Vedas, he is accepted by all acharyas, including Sripad Shankaracharya. But when he was present in this world, different class of men accepted him differently, and therefore their calculations of Lord were all different. Generally, persons who have faith in the revealed scriptures accept Lord as He is, and all of them merge into the greatest bewilderment when the Lord disappears from the world. In the first canto, we have already discussed the lamentation of Arjuna Yudhishthira, to whom the disappearance of Lord Krishna was almost intolerable up to the end of their lives. Now, the important point here is that for devotees, they should feel this separation. Like if we lose any of our family members, we feel great separation. But there is a problem, is that we don't feel for the Lord. That is the greatest problem. Lord is, we are separated from the Lord for time immemorial, and there is no feeling for Him because we are not experiencing His presence in our life. That is the main reason. We are not able to understand how much He is present in our life and how much we are indebted to Him. And every moment He is taking care of us. We are not able to see. So all these shastras are helping us to develop that sambandha jnana. First thing which will help us to connect to Lord nicely is the sambandha jnana. So all this creation and all will help. Oh, everything is done by Lord only. And then we'll say maintenance is also done by Him. And ultimately everything goes back to Him only. So when we see that Sambandha Jnana nicely developed, that will help our quality of chanting. So first is two things. Swadhyaya has two aspects. One is we have to learn the Shastra. Second is we have to chant the mantras. Swadhyaya means self introspection. Nowadays, there are so many movement with Swadhyaya and all these things. What they call mm, being conscious and other things. But basically, Swadhyaya means now the people they say that mindful living and all. Mindful living, a person can become conscious when he's doing meditation, and that's how they teach. But problem is they don't develop relation with Krishna, and that will not help them to maintain that for a long time. But the way we are doing is actually very sustainable because we are seeing the connection. So how we see? First is we read the Shastra. By that we know the connection. For them, they say everything is coming from nature, meditate and be mindful. That will work. But and we see that thousands of people are going and they are experiencing some peace, satisfaction. If there is no experience, why so many people will go? We say there are many of the devotees they say that there is bogus and all. It's not bogus. Even Christianity, Islam, they are also getting so much spiritual experience. That's why for so many hundreds of years and thousands and so many saints are there in their religion and they are also doing it. Everywhere there is experience. But what we are telling is ours is highest. That is only difference. And ours is very sustainable. Why? We go with Shastra. In the previous verse also, Prabhupada study, we we try to get the experience through Shastra. Shastra give how to meditate. So now I'm sitting and meditating. I'm getting some experience. But now I have to learn through Shastra what to meditate and how to meditate, which is very helpful. Otherwise, I can speculate so many things. Any sacrifice you do, you are trying to sit and meditate in nothingness. That will also give peace, but that is not the highest. That is only difference. They're not sustainable because after some time there is some obstacles, then we will not be able to continue. So I'm telling two things. Swadhyaya means we have to learn the Shastra first properly and then chant the mantra. So when you learn the Shastra, what happens? We'll gain the knowledge. What is Sambandha Gyan? And to transform that knowledge into realization, then we need chanting. When we do this sadhana of chanting, it turns into realization. That is what we all need to do. Sadhana is compulsory. Whoever is chanting, he is making so much progress. Why Prabhupada said 99% progress in chanting? Because all the information will be transformed into a realization and an application. And we discussed yesterday also in the science of mantra. We had a very elaborate discussion how all the shastras they are into zipped into a mantra. So it's a zip file. And if you slowly chant the mantra, all the shastras are revealed. And many people they have this realization also. They just sit, chant, and sincerely you get all the knowledge. And now here the connection is. Now when you start feeling the presence of Lord, then we'll feel separation from Him. Then the prayer comes from the heart. Oh my Lord, I'm far away from you. I feel separations. This is actually what happens to a devotee. You say, why they are crying? They are crying because they are seeing the connection. I am not able to cry for Krishna because I am not able to see the connection. But if I see the connection, automatically tears will come. Like if I feel about my somebody who is very close to me and I lose, immediately I may get emotional. Array, I lost this person. Krishna, I don't feel because I don't feel the connection. As soon as we feel connection, whole day, like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? And all the Goswamis are crying, Hey Radhe, Vraja Devi Ke Chalalite, Hey Nanda Sunokuta. I know they're searching at Govardhan, they're searching where is Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so that is how the feeling comes in their heart. And Prabhupada writing further, the Edus are only partially cognizant of the Lord, but they are also glorious because they had the opportunity to associate with the Lord, who acted as the head of their family, and they also remembered Lord's intimate service. This is the advantage. They got this directly. That's why we say, na, if you serve spiritual master personally, that is great advantage. We cannot deny. What happens is now some of the proper disciples who served him, They feel so much attachment to him and they feel separation. And for us also, this is the formula. If you want to feel separation from our spiritual master, we have to serve him. You say, Prabhuji, personal service we don't get. No, all services which we are doing now, na, we should do it for him only as a personal service. Like you are taking care of your family. Think as a service to my guru, I will take care of my family. And morning, evening, afternoon, we remember him. If we don't have that connection strong, that is how, what is the only connection we have with our spiritual master? What is the connection? Service only. Now, chanting we did in the morning. For whom we did? For our Guru's pleasure only. I am hearing Bhagavatam. I am speaking Bhagavatam. For whom we are doing? For Guru's pleasure only. So what I am doing only as a servant of my Guru. Whole day I am serving him. Going to office, cooking food at home, offering to the deities, taking care of family, coming back. Always this is conscious that I am servant. And that is strong connection. And we feel his presence. And then we feel separation also. And that is what will cut the knots in our heart. If we cry for a separation from devotees, then we will not cry for any of these things in this material world. And if somebody says, hey, get out of your house, go to Vrindavan and stay, we'll be so ecstatic. He said, really? Did I hear properly? That I am getting opportunity to go to Vrindavan and stay there for whole of my life and serve my spiritual master, chanting, hearing. Yes, this should be the aspiration. Kabe habe ho, stay dinama. Aparade kuchi, shuddha name ruchi. When will I just give up the offenses and chant the holy name, stay in Vrindavan and serve Radha Krishna? You know, we chant Tulsi Arati. What we are chanting? Moraye Abhilash, Vilas Kinjidiyavas. When will I get? This is my Abhilash. I want to stay in Vrindavan. Now I am attached to my house. If somebody says get out of the house, I say, my God, how can I stay alone? No, that is what we all need. That should be the desire we all get. And that comes when we get this knowledge how Yadus are feeling separation, how Pandavas are feeling separation. And Yadus and the other devotees of Lord are different from those who wrongly calculate him to be ordinary human personality. Such persons are certainly bewildered by the illusory energy. They are hellish and are envious of Supreme Lord. The illusory energy acts very powerfully on them because, in spite of their elevated mundane education, such persons are faultless and are infected with the mentality of atheism. They are always very eager to establish that Lord Krishna was an ordinary man who was killed by a hunter due to his many impious acts in plotting to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and Jarasandha. The demonic king of earth, such persons have no faith. They say Krishna cheated, na? After Krishna also got cheated and he was also killed. Because he killed all the Kauravas, Gandhari cursed him. That's why all his family members disappeared in overnight. And Krishna was killed by the hunter when he was lying there. This is what people say about Krishna. And why did it happen like this? Because Krishna want to help them. This is very important to understand. Why such leelas are there of Lord to help living entities who want to go away from him. If somebody want to go away from him, that is his strong desire. Go away from Krishna. No, my strong desire is there like that. Then Lord facilitates the philosophies that we are hearing and all. That is all based. That is what type of philosophies and all these things. How did they come? So what happens is uh, when we have certain desire, the philosophies and are facilitated by Lord only. Who gives the intelligence for the scientist? Krishna only gives. Who is giving intelligence to all these great philosophers to speculate so nicely? Krishna only gives. Otherwise, they cannot get intelligence. Why he is giving? Because that is their desire. Why Shankaracharya came and spoke Mayavada? Why Buddha came and gave this atheistic philosophy? Because living entity want it. Lord is only facilitating. If I want to come to him, he says, okay, there is some nice ISKCON devotee. Go associate with him, come to me. No, I want to go away from him. Okay, there is nice Shankara follower or Buddhist follower or somebody. You go to him and he will help you. And in all cases, Buddhi is given by Krishna only to go in every direction and to speculate more nicely that Lord does not exist. Scientists want to believe it, and you'll get all proofs. And you go to Shastra, then you get these stories. Oh, Krishna is also killed. He did wrong things, and his family members are also destroyed. And according to Jains, he went to hell also. Now, Lord is responsible, but he's responsible because he's just fulfilling our desires. Everything is Krishna only. Sarva Karana Karana. Now, what we have in our hand is only one thing, desire. Now, if I desire, I am out. So here, when killing of this, impious acts of killing, it's not impious act. For Lord, there is no pious and impious. Anything Lord does is good only. There is nothing bad and good for Lord. Because he loves all living entities, anything he is doing out of love. So there is nothing bad or good. There is no duality for Lord. Lord is all perfect. Because the formula is love. Say if a mother has a child, is 2 months old child. Now anything child does, it is very sweet for mother. Even if the child is passing urine and stool in the lap of mother, mother don't mind sitting with the child like that. He says, this fellow is spoiling my dress. Mother will not feel only. She's so happy. Because the formula is what? It is love. Then there are no rules. Everything you like. There is nothing good, bad. That's why spiritual world, there is nothing good and bad. Everything is love only. It looks apparently duality. There is no duality. In this world, good, bad is there, duality. But spiritual, it's not like that. When Lord is plotting, it's actually for the benefit of living entity. Whoever died on the Duryodhana's side, all of them they got liberated because Krishna was there. So where is the injustice? Otherwise they would have gone to hell. Read the max, heaven. But they got liberated. So how is it injustice then? Vishnudev says this prayer that whoever saw it, they all got liberated. Now, where is the injustice? That's quite fair on Krishna's part. He is not doing any injustice for anyone. And all the blasphemy do not touch the heart of devotees of Lord because they know perfectly well what is what. Their intelligence regarding the Lord is never disturbed. But those who are disturbed with the statements of the Asuras are condemned. That is what Uddhava meant in this verse. Any questions on this verse? We'll go to next purpose. Okay. Yes, Matri. Sham. Yes. Hi.
Okay, when the statement comes that whatever Krishna does is perfect because of love, how to digest it, Prabhu? Because there are many things comes in opposite way. What we think, no, that exactly will happen opposite way.
Your voice is not clear, bro.
In that situation, how
Your voice is not clear.
I'll take I'll text the question, Prabhu.
And now it is clear. You can ask.
It's okay. Okay. So many times, Prabhu, we'll plan something and go according. Will it not go according to us, Prabhu? In that situation, how we can overcome, Prabhu? How we can understand that Krishna doing it because for my uh, for good for me. It did not happen because it is not good for me. And we in moha and think that Krishna is not favoring anything to me. Why I'm doing devotion, right? Why I'm chanting so much of his name. And the flavor around us, they will also, I mean, relatives or friends, they will also ask in this way only, bro. In that situation, how to overcome it?
Yeah, actually, if we are grateful for all situations, bro, then we'll remain like Kunti. In the end of everything, she's still praying Krishna. It's all you, and you are so sweet. If you don't cultivate that and don't hear properly, then it will be like Gandhari. She will curse Krishna. Both of them went through the difficulties. Kunti also had so many difficulties. All her grandsisters, just children died. They were in the forest. His elder son Karna died. Everything went wrong for her. But still, and for Gandhari, whole life she was good only. In the end, she got tragedy. Of course, she got a blind husband, but still, she was quiet. But Thing is, if this is what is we have to cultivate consciously. That Krishna knows what is good for me. Like for your child, he may cry. My father is not allowing me to play whole day. My father is not giving me only chocolate to eat every day. Child want whole day to eat chocolate. Whole day he want to eat some junk food. Whole day he want to play. He don't want to study. But you are very strict with him and want to make him study. Want to make him eat proper food, not just junk food. You want to play some video games or something. You want him to do outside play instead of just in front of. Now, child wants something wrong, but as a father, you know in long term what is benefiting for him. If we can care for our children like that, how much Lord cares for his devotees. He does not see immediate. He sees a very long term, and he is having a. If we are sincere, he will give that intelligence and he will make a proper plan. And he is doing proper plan. Only thing is we have to accept it. There is no option also. Anyway, it is going to happen. If we accept, we make progress. Because mercy is coming and going away. We are not able to access the mercy. Mercy of Lord is always available. We want to access it, and we have to follow whatever He's. We have to accept whatever He's giving us. We should not complain. Yes, bro. Okay. Lord Krishna, who manifested his eternal form before the vision of all on the earth, performed his disappearance by removing his form from the sight of those who are unable to see him due to not executing required penance. This is very important. In this verse, the word avitripta drisha is most significant. The conditioned souls in the material world are all trying to satisfy their senses in various ways, but they have failed to do so because it is impossible to be satisfied in such effort. The example of a fish on land is very appropriate. When it takes fish from the water and puts it on the land, it cannot be happy by any amount of offered pleasure. The spirit soul can be happy only in the association of the supreme living being, the personality of Godhead. And now here else, nowhere else. The Lord, by his unlimited causeless mercy, has innumerable Vaikuntha planets in Brahmajyoti sphere of the spiritual world. In the transcendental world, there is an unlimited arrangement for the unlimited pleasure of living entities. Now the question may come, are I am getting pleasure now? Like how many of you we don't get pleasure in eating? We all get pleasure. And there is pleasure in watching, there is pleasure. So why we are saying there is no pleasure? If somebody is watching movie, he is getting pleasure. That is the point here. Like what we are thinking, because we are where the problem comes is that my quality of pleasure is very low. That is the problem. And the quality of a pleasure who is eating on the roadside some very junk food or whatever we have here, street food, that is the quality of their pleasure. For them, street food is the best. For somebody, restaurant is best. That is his quality of pleasure. For us, prasadam is the best. Based on the quality of pleasure. That's why we aspire. And then now people are watching movie. So what is the pleasure in the movie? That is the definition of happiness. For them, movie means rich people, costly, nice jewelries, nice dress, smart people, intelligent people, very street smart, this, that. So that is what their definition of happiness. And now they want a story with that happiness and they want to see that. But if my definition of happiness is somebody who is very serene, who is very peaceful, calm, sense and mind control, then you have your own story of how a person should be. Now people want this. That's why they go for that type of movies. And they do go for that type of pleasure. And they get pleasure also. But that is not actually the highest pleasure. That's why we say there is no pleasure. As such, it's not that now if I'm getting some nice food to eat, and people are happy with that. Why? Another important thing. Why their taste is like that? Because they're affected by mode of passion and ignorance. Tata rajas tamo bhavaha kama lobhadais. If our taste is rajoguna and tamoguna, then I'll be interested in rajoguna tamoguna activities only. There is no other thing that I will do in life. It's quite simple. Formula is quite simple. What is going to affect me is based on my taste. Say if somebody comes and puts a big, nice cake in front of me. If I am too sattvic, I say no, no, no. This is maida. I cannot eat it. Somebody is very different. He says tamasic. He said no, no, no. Sweet I cannot eat. You give me something very no. Now based on my taste, I will like or not like that item depends. So now our taste is so much into tamoguna and rajoguna. We want to enjoy the taste here only. Lord is telling, "Arey, this is too horrible." Like a hog is eating stool in the gutter. Then we may say, "Arey, such a horrible living entity is just eating all sorts of nonsense." But it is very blissful in its own way. God is happy with that taste. If you give him hot halwa, Prabhupada says, you give a swine, you give stool and hot halwa, I will go and eat stool only. It cannot eat hot halwa. This is no, this is too bad. Why? That is their taste. Now, when we are enjoying this, when that statement is told there is no pleasure, they are telling, Array, you are enjoying. The pleasure which a person experiences in the social union of man and woman, the yogis who are sitting and experiencing the pleasure, it is thousands of more than this pleasure also. That is why they are able to stay there without any association and doing so much austerity, because they are getting more pleasure, millions of times more, at least thousands of times more than this pleasure what is in the association of man. But this cannot be known theoretically. We have to come to the mode of goodness life. Then when we say yes, and then compared to that, then there is Brahma Jyoti, then there is transcendental world, unlimited pleasure. The Lord Himself comes to display this transcendental pastures, typically represented at Vrindavan, Mathura, and Dwarka. He appears just to attract the conditioned souls back to God. He wants to give that pleasure to us. The entire Vedic ritualistic performance is to put every conditioned souls in the path of piety. By strict adherence of prescribed principles for all the orders of social life, one can attain the qualities of truthfulness. So this is the point. Now, what Vedic system does, it will help us to come to that state of goodness, which is how we do it. Then you start experience, you start getting the pleasure at that level. And then along by following it truly, what happens? We develop the qualities of truthfulness, control of mind, control of mind, control of senses, forbearance, tolerance like this. Then and can be elevated to the plane of rendering pure devotional service to the Lord only by such transcendental visions, one's material hankering fully satisfied. But this is how we have to grow ourselves. We have to reach that state. When the Lord was present, persons now this is very important that we follow the rules strictly. Lord is all the scriptures are meant to help us to be happy only, but in a proper way. Oh, we won't want to do it in that way. That's the way we get caught. Persons who are able to satisfy their material hankering by seeing him in true perspective are thus able to go back to go with him to his kingdom. But those persons who are unable to see the Lord as he is remained attached to material hankering and were not able to go back to God. And the Lord passes beyond the vision of all. He did so in his original eternal form as stated in this verse. And this is why Lord is coming. The Lord appeared in order to release the world from the undue burden of the non-believing asuras, and after doing this, he disappeared from the world's eye. Any questions, comments before we go to the next purport? Okay. The Lord appeared in the material world by his internal potency, Yogamaya. He came in his eternal form, which is just suitable for his pastimes. These pastimes were wonderful for everyone, even for those proud of their own opulence, including the Lord himself in his form as the Lord of Vaikuntha. Thus, his Sri Krishna's transcendental body is the ornament of all ornaments. This is very famous verse in Nritya Lilopakayam Swayoga मायाबलं दर्शयतां गृहीतं विस्मापनं सश्वत च सौभगार्थे परं पदं भूषणभूषणाङ्गम्. So, param bhushana bhushanangam. It says that the transcendental body is the ornament of all ornaments. Like if you put ornaments on a person's body, he looks very attractive. But when you put ornaments on Lord's body, because of Lord's beauty, the ornaments become very attractive. That says ornament of all ornaments. So Lord appeared in the mortal world by his internal potency. This is Yoga Maya. Maya Javanika Chinnam. He came in his eternal form just to uh, which is just suitable for his pastimes. These pastimes are wonderful for everyone, even for those proud of their own opulence, including the Lord himself in the form of Lord of Vaikuntha. So, in Lord of Vaikuntha, he was also surprised by Lord Krishna. That's why he also want to see Krishna Mahavishnu. He kidnaps the sons of the Brahmanas. This is it is in the conformity of Vedic hymns. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. This is a very important understanding we need to have that Krishna is coming to perform these pastimes and to attract all of us. He's really working very hard. We have to appreciate his endeavor to bring us all back home, back to Godhead. And he's performing this pastime. And now we cannot be proud of Krishna. Say, now I can lift this table, I can lift something. A gold medalist in Olympic, he can lift 250, 300 kgs, whatever. But Krishna can lift Govardhan Hill. So, and then somebody is very smart. He can attract some women. There will be some people who are like that. And Krishna can attract not only women, men. He can attract animals, birds. He can attract wind, rivers. Everything is attracted to Krishna. So here is a question of being any Miss World, Miss Universe. They cannot be proud of their beauty. Krishna is so attractive. And then when it comes to the pastimes of Krishna, nobody can do as many pastimes as wonderfully. People, why they watch movie is which they cannot do. They want somebody else doing it and they want to see it and experience a second great pleasure. I am not doing it myself, but I am seeing somebody doing it and I am enjoying it, thinking as if I am only doing. If somebody is beating he's beating 100 people in the movie, this person who is watching is so happy. Why is he happy? Because he want to do it. He is not able to do. Now, but when we want to see that, that is all illusory. But the real thing, Krishna does it, and Krishna want us to enjoy doing it. But not that imagining that I am Krishna, but imagining I am servant of Krishna. That way we should be happy, and they are real activities. If somebody is so much addicted to watching all these things, they can read Puranas, which are real stories, because these are imaginary stories and does not make any sense. But these real stories are Puranas, which is really very exciting. If somebody is so much addicted for all these things, you can suggest them to read Puranas. Very interesting stories are there. Of course, Bhagavatam is there, but if they are not able to give up, this is not for devotees I am recommending, recommending for outsiders. Because they are original stories, at least they are doing. And of course, they're eventually Puranas also being person to Krishna. The conformity with the Vedic hymns. Yeah. He is the chief of all living entities. No one can surpass him or equal him, or to be him to be equal to him in wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and innocence. When Krishna was within the universe, he seemed to be a human being because he appeared in a manner just suitable for his pastimes in the mortal world. He did not appear in human society in his Vaikuntha features, his forehand, because that would not have been suitable for his pastime. But in spite of his appearing as a human being, no one was or equal to him in any respect in any of the six different opulences. Everyone is more or less proud of his opulence in his world. But Lord Krishna, human society's excellence, he excelled all his competitors. Now there is another important point. So our evolution, it is based on the hands. How the hands are growing, that much you are evolved. If you see fishes and all, they no hands. Trees, no hands. Now then there are insects and reptiles. They have hands, but they are just very not evolved. And then if you see, then there are monkeys. Even other animals also, if you are seeing around, their hands are not very perfect. Monkeys, they can hold something. So their hands are little more evolved. But highest evolution is humans. We have fingers. If you see the brain body ratio, most of the body is controlling the most of the brain is controlling the fingers only. Means if you take brain is controlling different parts of the body, and how much part of the brain is controlling fingers? Most of the part. So much of the brain controls the fingers. We have very fine fingers. That's why we are able to do nice things. That means evolution is proportionate to the quality of our hands and fingers. Now, if you go in that logic, then if somebody has four hands, he is much more superior than having a two hands that are evolved. I have two hands which are evolved. In that way, Vishnu is superior to all humans because we have only two hands. Vishnu has four hands. Now, if we go with that logic, then we say, okay, then Krishna's form. Oh no, no, Vishnu is superior because Krishna has two hands. Vishnu has four hands. Krishna has only two hands. According to that logic, Vishnu is superior to Krishna if you go with the evolution logic, but it does not apply to Krishna. That is the point. When Lord's pastimes were visible to the human eye, they are called Prakrit. And when they are not visible, they are called Aprakrit. In fact, Lord's pastime never stop. Just as the sun never leaves the sky, the sun is always in its right orbit in the sky. It's sometimes visible, sometimes invisible to our limited vision. Similarly, the pastimes are are always current in one universe or another. This is another important. This is in a fourth dimension. Because it in fourth dimension, this is my speculation. It can be present in all the places all the time. It means whenever it want. Like say if Prime Minister of a country he wanted to be visible in the prison. In two-dimensional form, he is visible there. How? In TV. The prisoners can open the TV and there is Prime Minister in front of them in the TV. In a two dimension, he is available for them. Similarly, Lord is in fourth dimension. So anywhere in the universe, immediately he can manifest. That is like we say, Lord is everywhere. Lord is in fourth dimension. So I made a connection of this. If you're in fourth dimension, you can be everywhere anytime. So I added just one word only. So, but it matches. That is, I am telling because of that this is happening. Similarly, the pastimes of Lord are always current in one universe or another. When Lord Krishna disappears from the transcendental of Dwarka, it was simply a disappearance from the eye of there. It's not misunderstood that his transcendental body, which is just suitable for pastimes in the mortal world, is in any way inferior to his different expansions in Vaikuntha. Because we are in three dimension now, we are able to now you are able to see me because you are able to see me in two dimension, not in the three. I am in three dimension, I can be visible everywhere in two dimensions. Lord is in fourth dimension, he can be everywhere visible in three dimensions. His body manifests in the material world in a transcendental par excellence, in the sense that his pastime in the mortal world excels his mercy displayed in Vaikuntha Lokas. That is the point. Even though it's two hands, but it is far excellent. In the Vaikuntha Lokas, the Lord is merciful towards the liberated or Nityamukta living entities. But in the past in the mortal world, he is merciful even to the fallen souls who are Nityabaddhas, are conditioned forever. What is the difference in Lord Mahavishnu and Kshirodaksha Vishnu, Garudaksha Vishnu is they are just Upadrishta Anumanta. They don't interfere in the free will of living entities. They don't preach. Krishna comes, na, he preaches. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, he forces. Krishna gives instruction, but he does not force living entity. Yatechasi tathaguru. Whatever you feel. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu forcefully goes and embraces somebody and that fellow will become devotee. Why he is forcing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Anybody knows the reason? Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu forcing? Why Krishna is not forcing? You should know this reason. Anybody want to try? Krishna is just giving instruction and tells Yatechasi Tatakuru. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu forces Gail Mataji.
Well, but he's in the form of a devotee, right? So
Yeah, that is the point. That's why he comes as a devotee. For devotee, no rules. Anybody you go and make them devotee. Krishna does not interfere in the free will of living entities. A devotee interferes in the free will of living entities. That's why he
uh,
comes.
Pra-
That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is more merciful than Krishna also.
Prabhu, can I just ask? You're just speaking about fourth dimension, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the three dimension means we see, like if I'm seeing you in person, not on the screen. If I see you in person, then I see you, you know, the length of you, the width of you, and the depth of you, right? That's
Yeah.
3D.
Yeah.
And so you're saying if a person is in 4D, then wherever, yeah, I'm not that clear of 4D. Where you can see him everywhere, no matter what.
Yeah, that's why Krishna's pastime they can manifest anytime. Like you can do Leela Smaran and you can see Krishna in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, when you say 4D, that was just like a figurative way of speaking.
Yeah, yeah. Because we don't know what is fourth dimension. It's speculation. Means we hear fourth dimension. We don't know how it is. We don't have experience of fourth dimension. We have one level of experience in terms of time. We say length, breadth, depth, and time. Time is also one dimension we count. But we don't exactly know what is this fourth dimension. But I am just whenever we hear no Lord is in the fourth dimension and Lord is everywhere, so I just added the two sentences. Fourth
Okay.
dimension, that's why is everywhere visible. That's what I added that one word in between the two lines.
Uh-huh.
Here anywhere, I just two sentences we had. I just added one word. That is my speculation.
Uh-huh. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
If I get, I thought I will just read. Some people are there who go through Upanishads and try to understand. Maybe if we hear from them, we can understand what is this fourth dimension. But
Mm.
I didn't know much about
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
it. So now this is in Vaikuntha Loka, Lord is merciful, but he does not, he gives some instruction, but Krishna gives much more close, and he gives little more than even Lord Narayana. And when he comes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is the best. So we need the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And but his pastime in the mortal world, he is merciful even to the fallen souls who are Nitya Baddas or conditioned forever. The six excellent opulences which he displays in the mortal world by the agency of his internal potency, Yogamaya, are rarer even in Vaikuntha. All his pastimes were manifested not by the material but by his spiritual knowledge. The excellence of Rasalila at Vrindavan and his household life with 16,000 wives in is wonderful even for Narayana in Vaikuntha and is certainly so far the other living entities within the mortal world. His pastimes are wonderful even for other incarnations of Lord such as Sri Rama, Narsimha, Varaha. His opulences are so supreme excellent. So even Lord Ram is also a it's wonderful even for those incarnations. Rupa is writing. His opulence is so super excellent that his pastimes were adored even by the Lord of Vaikuntha, who is not different from Lord Sri Krishna. So in that form, he gets attracted. And this verse is very important. यन्मुक्त्य लीलोपकयं स्वयोगं माया बलं दर्शयतान् गृहीतं विस्मापन्नं स्वस्य सौभगार्थे परम पदम भूषणांगम. This you might have heard from Gorandakshan Pro every time. This is favorite shloka. यद्धर्मशुष्णोर्बतराजसूये Niriksha drikshascha ayanam triloka Karnena chadyagratham vidhatur arva swato kushalam iti amanyata. This is all the demigods from the upper, lower, and middle universal planetary system assembled at the altar of Rajasu's sacrifice, performed by Maharaj Yudhishthir. After seeing the beautiful bodily features of the Lord Krishna, they all contemplated that he was the ultimate dexterous creator of Brahma, the creator of human beings. Now, what Uddhava is doing basically, he is glorifying Krishna in relation to all the activities he did. First, he glorified in terms of the Yadu dynasty. He said, "Oh, they could not understand only him. They thought he is one of the super soul, or they could not properly serve him." And then he told how Pandavas felt separation from him. Then he told that his activities are so wonderful, even is Bhushana Bhushanangam. Even the Lord in Vaikunthas, they are also surprised by him. Not only that, he is the ornament to the ornaments. Now he's telling, oh, this Lord, if whoever came, the all the demigods, upper, lower, middle, everybody came for Maharaj Yudhishthir's Rajasuya sacrifice, and seeing him, they thought, what a creation of Lord Brahma. It's so now proper writing, so nice purport. They are nothing comparable to the bodily features of Lord Krishna when he was present in this world. The most beautiful object in the material world may be compared to blue lotus flower or the full moon in the sky. But even the lotus flower and the moon are defeated by the beauty of bodily features of Lord Krishna, and this was certified by the demigods, the most beautiful living creature in the universe. The demigods thought that Lord Krishna, like themselves, was also created by Brahma. But in fact, Brahma was created by Lord Krishna. It was not within the power of Brahma to create the transcendental beauty of Supreme Lord. No one in the creation of Krishna. Rather, he is the creator of everyone. That is the point. No, he is so handsome. And says the denizens of Raja. Now again comes to the Vrindavan. Now he's comparing. Now he compared Krishna in relation to Yadus, Krishna in relation to Pandavas, Krishna in relation to the lords of Vaikunta, Krishna in relation to demigods. Now Krishna in relation to gopis. The denizens of Raja, after pastimes of laughter, humor, and exchange of glance, were exhausted when Krishna left them. They used to follow him with their eyes, and thus they sat down with stunned intelligence and could not finish their household duties. So now Uddhava comes to the climax. He says, in his boyhood at Vrindavan, Lord Krishna was notorious as a teasing friend in transcendental love to all the girls his age. His love for them was so intense that there is no comparison to that ecstasy. And the denizens of Braja are so much attached to him that their affection excelled that of the great demigods like Brahma and Shiva. Lord Krishna finally admitted his defeat before the transcendental affection of the gopis and declared that he was unable to repay them for their unalloyed affection. Although the gopis were seemingly anguished by Lord's teasing behavior, when Krishna would leave them, they would not tolerate the separation and used to follow him with their eyes and mind. Now, this is actually what happens in a perverted way in this material world. But in the spiritual world, this is the original. From there, we copy here and we try to imitate, and we very terribly get frustrated. They were so stunned by the situation that they could not finish their household duties. No one can excel him even in the dealing of love exchange between the boys and girls. It is said in the revealed scriptures that Lord Krishna personally never goes beyond the boundary of Vrindavan. He remains there eternally because of the transcendental love of the inhabitants. Thus, even though he is not visible at present, is not away from Vrindavan for a moment. This is because in fourth dimension is always in Vrindavan. I cannot see him. And now he says that the personality of Godhead, the all compassionate control of both the spiritual and material creation is unborn. But when there is fraction between his peaceful devotees and persons who are in the material modes of nature, he takes birth just like fire, accompanied by his plenary portions, controlling the Mahatattva. The devotees of Lord are by nature peaceful because they have no material hankering. Liberated soul has no hankering and therefore he has no lamentation. Simple. If you don't want, then you will not cry. If I want, I cry. If I am attached, I will feel fearful. If I am not attached, there is no fear. If I don't want to enjoy, then there is no struggle. It's very simple. Formulas are very simple. If I want to enjoy, then there is struggle. If I want to, if I am attached, then there is problem. If I am attached, there is fear. If I am attached, there is no, there is hankering, then there is lamentation. So the duality is like that. One who want to possess also laments when he loses his position. Devotees have no hankering for material positions and no hankering for spiritual salvations. They are situated in the transcendental loving service of Lord as a matter of duty, and they do not mind where they are or how they have to act. Karmic Jnanis Yogis always anchored to possess some material or spiritual assets. Karmis want material positions, Jnanis Yogi want spiritual positions, but devotees do not want only. That is very, very important. They only want to serve anywhere in the material world, in the spiritual world, and according to fulfill the desires of the Lord, and that's all. That all always specifically compassionate towards such devotees. Even to get spiritual credits also not correct. Why you want to serve Krishna? Just to make him happy. That's all. Nothing for us. The karmis, jnanis, and yogis have their particular mentalities and the modes of nature, and therefore they are called itaras or non-devotees. Itaras, including even the yogis, sometimes harass the devotees of the Lord. Durvas Muni, a great yogi, harassed Maharaj Ambarish because the latter was a great devotee of Lord, and even great karmis and jnanis Hiranyakashipu even harasses his own Vaishnavas and Prahlad. There are many instances of such harassment of the peaceful devotees of Lord by the Itaras. When such fraction takes place, the Lord, out of his great compassion towards his pure devotees, appear in person, accompanied by his plenary portions controlling the Mahatattva. And one last para will be. The Lord is everywhere in both the material and spiritual domains, and he appears for the sake of his devotees when there is fraction between his devotees and non-devotees. As electricity is generated by of matter anywhere and everywhere, the Lord, being all pervading, appears because of the friction of devotee and non-devotee. When Lord Krishna appears in a mission, all his plenary portions accompany him. When he appears as son of Vasudeva, there are different opinion about his incarnation. Some said, oh, he is the supreme personality of Godhead. Some said he is an incarnation of Narayana. Others said incarnation of Krishna. But actually, he is the original supreme personality of Godhead. Krishnastu Bhagavan saying. Lord Krishna appeared just like electricity when there was friction between Kamsa and Vasudeva. Ugrasena. Vasudeva and Ugrasena were Lord's devotees, a representative of the Kamsa's representative of Karmis and Gyanis was a non-devotee. After gradually rising to the meridian of Dwaraka, the Lord set like a sun, placing everything in darkness by deceit as described by Uddhava. Okay, thank you very much. Any questions, comments before we end today? Hare Krishna. We'll meet tomorrow. Continue our discussion.